Hello everyone, my name is Mistvein and today we are going to make the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. Welcome to the shop. The Buster Sword is rather big, so we are going to use insulation foam to create this thickness. Now you could do this with foam as well, but insulation foam is a material that we can find around here easily. In America you might know this as pink insulation foam, or there is even a blue version. So we're going to use this material to start crafting our blade. I use different kinds of material to get my patterns. This is just some very long paper that I found around, and I'm just trying to find out what works. The Buster Sword has all these small little details, and it has been revamped multiple times. Now these sketches are quite rough, but I'll take a picture of them and put it in Illustrator, and I will make a clean blueprint of the weapon so that you guys at home can use the blueprint yourself. So check out our description down below and you might find a lovely blueprint over there. So I noticed that our design is way too big for insulation foam, which means that we either need to paste another part on it and lose stability of the sword, or we need to shorten our blade a tiny bit. So we're gonna do both. And this part over here, we have a small little overhang, but because everything will be covered in foam, we can just take another piece of our styrene foam and just paste it on here without seeing any visible lines. So that's good. Our pattern is transferred on our insulation foam. Now if we want to cut these, we can use a variety of techniques. One of the techniques is by using a hot wire. This is a tool which has a wire which will become very hot, and you'll just be able to cut out your styrene foam like this. Now be careful, because this material might melt your styrene foam, and if you're not careful enough, the wire might break. Another thing is using a knife, a very sharp knife. It's gonna take a while and it's gonna be painful to your ears, so I'm not gonna use this. Now I could use a saw as well, and that would work perfect. Or we could use a bandsaw if you have that. So now I'm using the pattern as a reference to indicate how much extra insulation foam I need to just paste it on the other one. So it has started raining, so I'm very sorry for the noise, but we do have our two parts of insulation foam. So I am going to glue them together using our good friend contact cement. What better dash, what rubbish, you can't use contact cement, you know that's not good for you. We're not going to use contact cement, and he will thank me later for this, but we are going to use a styrene friendly glue, because styrene foam will melt down if we use contact cement. So our pattern works out, so now we're going to cut out these circles with our hot stick. I'm just going to mark the middle line so that I know how sharp my blade has to be. I realized that I have to make a small slot for my tubes and handles to fit in. So I'm going to try and figure out where to put the handle, and then I'll just cut it out so that my handle is edged inside the sword. We could glue this in with our glue, but I'm probably going to use hot glue to fill in the cracks. Now hot glue might melt your styrene foam, but I'm going to take on the gamble because you won't see shit. Before we glue it in, we need to sand down our edge to make our edge of the blade. Now this doesn't look like much. We want all these small little details on the weapon. So we're gonna put our weapon away to dry and we're gonna cut out all these small little details. So I'm numbering each individual piece so that I know where to put what piece. So I've cut all my different pieces, so now we're going to transfer this to foam. Now we're gonna cut this out, but we want to make it smooth, so we have to multi-tool it out eventually. So I have to cut my pieces at an edge to make sure that the details pop out a bit more. If you're unable to create a clean edge, you can just sand them down. I also made mistakes, I'm just gonna sand them down eventually. So after a lot of monotonous work, we have turned our patterns into foam. So now we're going to take our sword and we're going to carefully place them on there to see where we have to glue each and every part. So we have finished the details on our sword, but we still need to make the small box with all the rivets and finish the handles. So that's going to be our next step for now. Okay, we are done. We finished our blade part, we have every detail, we have our small little box. The only thing we need to do is to finish our pommel and the small little rivets on the box. And then we have ourselves a Buster sword. So for the rivets, I'm going to use foam dowels. Now we will make a video about foam dowels in the future and explaining all the different techniques that you can use, but they are perfect for making small little rivets or little tubes which go around on your weapon. But I'm going to use them for rivets. But how do we do that? Now we take ourselves a knife and we start cutting at, like, for example, 1 centimeter. And that's a rivet. That's it. We have finished the Buster sword. If you want to know how we paint the Buster sword, feel free to go to this video. If you want us to make something else, then go down in the comments and leave us any prop you like, and we will try and make it in a following video. If you want to make the Buster sword yourself, you can go down in the description and you will find every detail of the materials that we've used. I thank you very much. I'm Mistvein. See you soon.